this, aren't into those things. All right, now another thing, videos can come up too. So using your YouTube channel can also be very effective. So I typed in, how do I clean the carburetor on my lawnmower? 4 videos came up, and YouTube and these featured segments from Google, because, YouTube is owned by Google, even segmented the videos into what they called key moments. That was to make it easier on the searcher to quickly find exactly what they were looking for based on what they searched on. Now, you can have tables and lists and a list of steps to complete a task. Graphs and other content can also show up. And just, just like in other ways, which I won't mention here, longer is better. And why? Why is that? Well, because Google will truncate your lists and big tables and graphs where the person searching has to click through to your website to see the entire answer on your website. Again, we don't want them to bounce immediately when they hit your website, so make sure you have other compelling content on there so that they stick around for a while. All right, so here's some of the techniques to give you the best chance of showing up. And first, as I always preach, make sure your site is substantial. These pages with one long homepage that's got everything, including, your grade school or your kindergarten transcripts, is not going to cut it. One-page sites look spammy to the search engines, and your chances of success are slim. Make sure your site is substantial. A good blog is good because every blog posting is technically a page. And so every time you make a blog posting, you're adding a page to your site, making it look more substantial. Next, check to see if there are already featured snippets on the search query you are working on. It's much easier to jump on the bandwagon than to have Google start an entirely new obscure featured snippet. So make sure there's already stuff out there. It's the same as I teach with products. If there's no products in what you're trying to make, a product that nobody ever heard of, well, guess what? There's 2 things that could happen. Either you just hit the lottery, you're going to sell millions and millions of this product nobody ever heard of, but more likely is nobody could make any money with a similar product, so that's why there isn't any. All right, so in this case, you want to make sure there's already featured snippets in what you're considering doing. All right, focus on long tail questions of 5 or more words, because less and less people are focusing and making web pages based around long tails. That's a really good tip and technique for anything you do with your website, because you get less traffic, but it's very targeted and much higher quality traffic. All right, now if you're going to have a text answer, now remember I told you that 53 words was going to come into importance? Well, make sure your text answers are 40 to 60 words in a single paragraph. And put a heading 2 or a heading 3 tag and make the question a subheading right before you put the 40 to 60 word paragraph. Now, if you don't know what headings 2 and 3 tags are, well, learn about it. We'll be glad to teach you in my mentor program, all right? But any geek worth his salt that knows what they're doing knows what these tags mean. If you get a web designer that doesn't know what a heading 2 or a heading 3 tag is, that is not the person you want. That was an out-of-work graphic artist that's clueless about anything that's going to do you any good on a website other than make it look pretty so you and your mother and your sister can look at it, all right? Because nobody else is going to see it. All right, so anyway, make your text answers 40 to 60 words in a single paragraph. Put heading 2 or 3 tag around the question. All right, and you could have many of these in a frequently asked question section of your site. All right, and another good tip here is make sure your answers are pretty objective. Opinions don't cut it in this method. There's plenty of room for you to have opinions on your